Good morning Year 4 and welcome to Monday's maths lesson. This lesson is going to be for the children with the Year 2 booklet. So if you have got this booklet here, then this video is for you. Now for Monday's lesson I'd like you to turn to page 11. Okay, and this is what the page should look like. Okay. Now today we are going to be focusing on times tables and odd and even numbers. So on section 1 you can see that this is your times table grid. The times table that we are looking at is here. So we are looking at the 2 times table. Now we've seen these grids before because we quite often do them on RTT Rockstars when we do that on paper in class. So you can see on the first grid it's 2 times 1. So you're going to put the answer in there. Now there's 2 that have been done for you. So they've got their answers in there already. So you're going to go up and it goes in order as well. So you've got 2 times 1, 2 times 2, 2 times 3 is 6, 2 times 4, 2 times 5. Now with the 2 times table, we know that if you are timesing by 2, you are doubling that number. So it's getting twice as big. So if we think about 2 times 1, I've got 1, but then I need another one because I'm doubling it. So 2 times 1 is 2. If it was 2 times 2, I've got 2 and I need to double it, another 2, and together is 4. Same again for 3. So 3 and I need to double it, so it's the same, 3, and together is 6. And you're going to do this all the way up until 10. Okay, so we know how to do section 1 because we have seen these grids before. So I want you to do that. Pause the video when you are ready to come back for section 2. Okay, so section 2 of our learning today, we're going to be looking at even numbers and then we're going to move on to odd numbers. Now, even numbers and odd numbers, you can work out which one they are by only looking in the ones column. So you've got a selection of numbers here, okay, and it says on section 2 to cross out the even numbers in the list below. So if you think that's an even number, then you're going to cross that number out. Now on a whiteboard I have just made a little note of the numbers which make a number even. So you can see here, even numbers end in 0, 2, 4, 6 and 8. And you'll notice that those are numbers that are in the 2 times table. And the 2 times table is a table which has got all even numbers in. Now these are numbers that need to go in this column, in the ones column. So I'm going to pick a number out of all of these. I'm going to pick the number 6. And I'm going to put that in my ones column. Okay. Now in my tens column, I can have any number I like. Let's make it 36. Now because in my ones column, it ends with the number 6 and 6 is in my bank of numbers which make them even, that is an even number. It does not matter what number is in the tens column. It doesn't matter. It could be any number at all. But in the ones column, it tells you whether that's an even number. So on your sheets of paper, if you have any numbers which end in 0, 2, 4, 6 or 8, then they are even numbers, and what I want you to do is cross them off. The even numbers, cross them off. You're going to do that part first, and then I'd like you to come back and we're then going to have a look at odd numbers. So you can pause the video, finish that part. I want you to cross off all the even numbers and then resume the video ready for odd numbers. Okay, off you go. Okay, moving on to the second part of section 2. So the second part of section 2, you can see here, it says to cross out the odd numbers in the list. So we're doing exactly the same activity as what we've just done, but we're now not looking at even numbers anymore. We're looking at odd numbers. And I've done the same again on a whiteboard of all the numbers which end in these. Okay, so you can see we had the even numbers in a word in a number bank before. Now we're going to be looking at the odd numbers, and these are the numbers that we need to be looking for. If they end in a 1, 3, 5, 7 or 9. So if any number ends in, and it's in their ones column, and it's got any of them numbers in the ones column, then that makes it an odd number. So just like before, we're going to choose one of those numbers in the number bank. I'm going to choose the top number, which is number 1. I'm going to put that in my ones column. It does not matter what's in my tens column. I'm going to put the number 1. Okay, and in my tens column, I'm also going to put the number 1. Doesn't matter what's in there. So can you read me that number? What is that number that I've got here? We should all be able to read the number 11. 11 is an odd number because in the ones column it ends in a 1, and that means that if it ends in 1, 3, 5, 7 or 9, then that is an odd number. So you're going to do the same activity in your books now, and you're going to cross off any of the odd numbers, any numbers that have their ones column with these. Okay, and those mean that they are odd numbers. So you're going to do that activity, and then we're going to come back to do section 3. Okay, off you go. Okay, so hopefully we have worked through section 1 and section 2. We're going to be revisiting now a times table. So we've had a look at the 2 times table at the beginning of the lesson. Now we're going to be looking at the 5 times table. And you can see on section 3, it says to circle all of the numbers that are in the 5 times table. And there are a group of numbers. Not all of them are going to be in the 5 times table, but you are going to circle any that you know are in the 5 times table. If it helps, you can write your 5 times table out on a whiteboard or some paper to help you to reference and look at the whiteboard and then look at the number and see, is that a 5 times table? If it is, you're going to circle that. So here, I've done my 5 times table on a whiteboard. So I've got 1 times 5 is 5, 2 times 5 is 10, all the way down to 10 times 5. Now, if I had some more room, I actually would have done 11 times 5 and 12 times 5. But I haven't, and then when I was writing it down, I had a moment where I thought, oh yeah, there's a trick in here that's going to help you with this question. And it's this part here. This is a little tip that's going to help you, and you might even not need to write all of your 5 times table down. If a number ends in 0 or 5, it's in the 5 times table. It could be 335. Now, I don't know how many times I'd need to do that to times it by 5, but if I know that that number ends in 5, it's in the 5 times table. If I said it was 1,240 and it ended in a 0, then I know it's in the 5 times table. It's a very big number, and we wouldn't need to know how many times we need to times that by. But my trick that I thought about that I want to share with you is that if any number ends in a 0 or a 5, then it's in the 5 times table. So having a look at your work here, it says to circle all of the numbers in the 5 times table. If any of those numbers in the ones column, not the tens, in the ones column, end in a 0 or a 5, then they are in the 5 times table, and I want you to circle them for me now. Okay, so finally we are on section 4 of our learning today, and this is very similar to what we started off with at the beginning of the lesson. It's the same times table grid we've been working from, and you can see that some of them have been done for you, and the times table we are focusing on is the tens times table. So the 10 times table, you are making it that number 10 times bigger. So we will add 10 times 1 is 10. 2 times 10 is 20. 3 times 10 has been done for you. And you're going to work all the way up to 10 times 10. And then that is all of your learning for today done. Now, when you have completed your learning, please do send it in or get your parents to send it in to the Year 4 email address so we can check and we can give you some feedback if you need some help. Well done, everybody, and good luck with your learning. I'll see you on Wednesday.